Leah.
Hello, I'm Jeff.
Today we're going to talk more deeply about the 100 citizenship questions.
我们今天要讨论100题的另外一个问题。
So the question today is, why did the colonists fight the British? During the 7 Years' War, which is also called the French and Indian War, English military commanders in North America often found it difficult to persuade the assemblies of some uncooperative colonies to pay for the costs of housing and provisioning the soldiers sent over to fight the French.
为什么这个殖民者他们要跟英国打仗呢？因为呢，在这之前的这个7年战争，也就是对这个法国跟这个印第安部落战争中，这个英国军队呢发现有时候很难说服这个北美殖民地的人呢，来这个支付这个英军所需的这个食宿的费用。
Once the war had ended, the king decided that some English troops should remain in North America, in theory, to defend the colonies. Since the war had left Britain with a large national debt, it also was especially important that the colonies should pay their share of the costs of keeping these men in America.
那这个战争结束了之后呢，这个英国的那个国王就决定了，有一些英国兵呢，他会留在北美来这个抵御这个殖民地。那因为呢，这个战争呢，让英国负债非常多哈，所以呢，这些殖民者呢，也需要负担部分的费用。
Contrary to popular belief, the Quartering Act of 1765 did not require that colonists bivouac soldiers in their private homes. The act did require colonial governments to provide and pay for feeding and sheltering any troops stationed in their colony. If enough barracks were not made available, then soldiers could be housed in inns, stables, outbuildings, uninhabited houses, or private homes that sold wine or alcohol.
所以呢，其实跟一般人想象不太一样哈。这个1765年的这个居住法案呢，并没有说这个殖民者要让这个军人住在他们家。那这个法案呢，只是说这个殖民政府需要负担那个食宿的这个费用哈。然后假如没有军营的话，那这个军人呢也可以住在旅馆啊，或者是酒吧啦，或者是没有人居住的房子啊，或者是其他有贩卖酒精的这个房间里面。
Actually, the act did not provoke widespread or violent opposition, partly because significant numbers of British troops were stationed in only a few colonies. To a certain extent, the act was overshadowed by the response to the Stamp Act, also passed in 1765.
那其实呢，这个法案并没有造成非常大的这个暴力的这个紧张的气氛哈，因为其实这个英军呢只有驻扎在几个主要的州而已，而且呢主要其实有另外一个这个发票法案呢，反而呢是更加严重的。那个发票法案也是在印花法案也是在1765年通过。
In the end, American colonists resented and opposed the Quartering Act of 1765 and decided to fight the British troops, not because it meant they had to house British soldiers in their homes, but because they were being taxed to pay for provisions and barracks for the army, a standing army that they thought was unnecessary during peacetime and an army that they feared might be used against them.
所以呢，其实美国的这个殖民地的人员呢，他们不喜欢这个法案呢，主要呢不是因为这个他们要给那个英国军那个地方住，而是因为呢他们觉得说他们需要付这些钱来帮助这些军队。 那这个军队呢，在这个和平时候呢，他们觉得其实不是很重要的，而且他们会觉得说，这个军队可能是要来对付他们自己的。
Thanks for listening and see you next week. 再见。